Welcome guys, in this video we're going to take a look at a simple example of error checking. Error checking is important because it allows you to ensure that your application continues to run even when something happens. So let's make a project and let's type using system, close out the semicolon, and now namespace sample. Now we're going to say here class calculator. Make a constructor for the calculator class. So we're going to type here console.writeLine, and then we're going to say I'm a calculator, but I only do division. That's all we need to illustrate the concept of simple error checking. Okay, let's add one method, so public dynamic. I need to sit back into the body here, so public calculator. There we are. Okay, move this back into the body of the class. Public dynamic. And here we're going to divide, and then dynamic x and dynamic y. And now we're going to do the error checking, so we'll do that with a simple IfElse block. So we are going to say here, if y does not equal to 0.0, like that for example, okay, turn x divided by y, else return some standard value, for example like 0.0, see? Okay. Okay, so this way, if somebody tries to divide by 0, it's controlled and the application doesn't crash. Alright, so that is that. Now let's see here. Outside the class calculator, we're going to have the program class. So class program, and then static void main. And now just make a new calculator object equals new calculator. Like that. Okay, and now we're going to say dynamic x equals 4 and dynamic y equals 0. Like that. We'll take a look at the result. And now let's say console.writeLine and the result of dividing, and put a placeholder in here by another placeholder. There's another placeholder for each of those calculated, right? And then x comma y, and then calc.divide, and specify the two arguments, meaning the x and the y. Close out the semicolon, so that looks like this. Alright, and let's do console.read key here. Close out the semicolon. Alright, so that looks like this. Now, let's give this a build. Let's go debug and step into. Okay, make a new calculator object. Simple enough, right? X is assigned 4, y is assigned 0. This is cold. Comes up here, checks whether it's equal to 0. Okay, and it is. That means skip that block and return 0.0. Okay. And then read key. So as you can see, the result of dividing 4 by 0 is 0. So that's some way of controlling it, okay? Now what you should say, of course, is that in reality division by 0 is undefined in mathematics, but for our purposes we'll just return some standard value. That will do. Alright, now on the other hand, if you go with debug and let's change the value of y here to 7.89, and then let's go debug and step into. In this case, it should work perfectly well. Okay, let's step into the main, build the calculator object, assign values to x and y, call divide. So notice that condition now is going to return x divided by y. Okay, because y does not equal 0, I put in a number different from 0. Return that to the calling code, display, and wait for user input like this. You see? Okay, and then hit enter to exit that. Hit the key and then we can exit. There you go. Okay, so that is it. You've seen a very simple example. In the next videos we'll talk about other ways like try catch and throwing exceptions and so on. Those are all mechanisms that are provided for us to ensure that our applications run smoothly and errors are handled gracefully without a crash. Thanks very much. I will see you in the next video.